have on baseball's biggest games? Can one judgment error by an umpire really change the course of World Series history? Why do some blown calls become legendary moments that live on forever in fans' memories?
Third inning. Boy, look at this. Wow. And now, Eric Cooper marches toward A.J. Burnett. Have you seen that recently from an umpire?
Umpires play a crucial yet often overlooked role in the complexity of baseball. Their split-second calls behind the plate and on the field directly impact every aspect of the game. Good umpiring goes unnoticed, but mistakes inevitably happen.
He's gonna ring it up, and he did, much to the chagrin of Ben Zobrist.
Welcome back to BatFlix. While some incorrect calls can now be overturned by replay, others remain final, permanently altering games and history. Though fans focus on dramatic blunders, umpires frequently get it right despite immense pressure. Their overall solid performance allows them to blend into the backdrop, enabling games to flow properly. Without diligent umpiring, baseball could not function. So while controversial judgments grab headlines, umpires should be appreciated for routinely rising to the challenge of one of sport's toughest jobs. Now, let's relive some of MLB's most debated and controversial umpire judgments that shaped the history.
That is unbelievable!
First up, Angel Hernandez's blatant home run denial in 2013. In a 2013 game, umpire Angel Hernandez famously ruled an obvious home run by Oakland's Adam Rosales a double instead. Despite replay showing the ball clearly went over the wall, Hernandez refused to overturn his bad call. The botched judgment sparked outrage and highlighted concerns about Hernandez's umpiring incompetence and unwillingness to properly use instant replay.
And that's a home run. Sad that they review it and they can't see it. That is sad.
Though Cleveland held on to win 4-3, focus centered on how Hernandez's high-profile missed call could have altered the game's outcome. The controversy increased calls for umpire reform and accountability.
That one may get thrown out here, and he should get thrown. Well, it should, because it was Hernandez who messed up the other night, on Monday night.
Next up is Tim Welk's invisible out call defies reality in 2012. In a 2012 game, umpire Tim Welk absurdly called the Dodgers' Jerry Hairston Jr. out on a routine grounder. Though replays showed the Rockies' first baseman wasn't even near the bag when he caught the ball, Welka somehow still signaled out. The egregiously blown call drew shock and laughter for its sheer incompetence. While Colorado held on to win 8-5, focus centered on Welk's incomprehensible judgment that became a viral emblem of umpiring failure. The crazy missed call underscored calls for reform and accountability. Angel Hernandez's hat trick of botched calls in 2018 ALDS. In the 2018 ALDS, umpire Angel Hernandez had a historically bad game, making 3 reversed calls at first base. He repeatedly called Yankees runners safe who replays showed were out, and vice versa. Hernandez's hat trick of blown calls drew outrage and calls for reform. While Boston won easily 16-1, the focus was on Hernandez's incompetence in botching multiple important calls.
You can't. It's just embarrassing. Telson's out. He should be.
The high-profile debacle spotlighted MLB's ongoing issues with the embattled umpire's subpar performance marring crucial postseason contests. Jim Joyce crushes Armando's perfect dream in 2010. In 2010, pitcher Armando Galarraga was one out from a perfect game when umpire Jim Joyce botched an easy call, ruling the Indians' Jason Donald safe on a routine grounder. Replays showed Donald clearly out. The blown call shocked fans and ruined Galarraga's perfect bid. Joyce later apologized for his inexplicable mistake that robbed the pitcher of baseball immortality. The controversy increased demands for expanded MLB replay, underscoring how umpire errors can unjustly rewrite baseball history. Bill Miller's confounding strike zone fluctuations in 2017 World Series. In the 2017 World Series, umpire Bill Miller had a confounding game behind the plate, with an inconsistent liberal strike zone favoring the Astros. Numerous borderline pitches led to contention from the Dodgers. The teams combined for a record 29 runs and 8 homers in the 5+ hour slugfest. While Houston won 13-12, Miller's fluctuating strike zone frustrated LA hitters and drew criticism for its impact. The high-scoring affair spotlighted concerns about inconsistent umpiring influencing crucial World Series outcomes. Tim McClellan's back-to-back ALCS mental lapses in 2009. In the 2009 ALCS, umpire Tim McClellan made two glaring base-running mistakes. He wrongly ruled a Yankee left third early, then failed to call two Yankees out for occupying third at the same time. McClellan admitted his back-to-back mental lapses, which drew focus despite New York's blowout win. His high-profile errors and crucial playoff moments spotlighted worrying umpire incompetence in October and how mistakes can shape baseball's biggest games. Ron Kulpa's World Series debut from hell in 2011. In the 2011 World Series, umpire Ron Kulpa blew a call in his Fall Classic debut, ruling the Cardinals' holiday safe after being picked off first when he was clearly out. The mistake sparked a big Cardinals rally in their blowout win. Kulpa later admitted he botched the pivotal call. His critical error spotlighted how even veteran umpires can falter on the big stage, impacting World Series outcomes. Jerry Meals' walk-off blunder crushes Pirates' hopes in 2011. In 2011, umpire Jerry Meals ended a 19-inning marathon between the Pirates and Braves by inexplicably calling the Braves' Lugo safe at home, despite replays showing he was clearly tagged out. The blatantly blown call kick-started a Pittsburgh collapse that cost them the pennant race. Meals' late-inning incompetence highlighted how umpire errors can dramatically impact pennant fortunes. The infamy made his mistake symbolic of umpiring failures unjustly shaping baseball's key final moments. Sam Holbrook's NL wildcard catastrophe in 2012. In the 2012 NL wildcard game, umpire Sam Holbrook sparked outrage by absurdly calling the Braves' Simmons out on the infield fly rule on a routine deep fly that dropped. The misjudgment killed an Atlanta rally in Chipper Jones's final game, leading furious fans to litter the field. Holbrook's historically bad call ended the Braves' season and became one of baseball's most criticized umpiring blunders ever in the playoffs. A bear-sized mistake Mongo rips Hernandez's bad call. In 2001, umpire Angel Hernandez infuriated fans by wrongly calling the Cubs' Ron Coomer out at home. Guest conductor and Bears great Steve Mongo McMichael blasted Hernandez, vowing to confront him. The umpire angrily glared back but didn't eject Mongo. Despite the miscall, Chicago won the wild game. The high-profile criticism of Hernandez underscored fan frustration with his repeated blown judgments and refusal to admit mistakes. Phil Cousy denies Joe Mauer a clear double in 2009 ALDS. In the 2009 ALDS, umpire Phil Cousy outrageously ruled Twins star Joe Mauer's clear double foul, depriving Minnesota of a rally. Despite replay evidence showing the ball glancing off the left fielder's glove in fair territory, Cousy refused to correct his blunder. The blown call left Mauer stranded, costing the Twins runs in a tight loss that propelled the Yankees to a series sweep. Cousy's high-profile error in a pivotal playoff moment spotlighted the impact of umpire mistakes in October and demands for reform. The double play that should never have been. In 2013, umpire Angel Hernandez absurdly called a double play for the Marlins despite replays showing Alex Rios clearly safe. "No! No! No!" cried outraged White Sox announcers as Miami ran off the field. Hernandez's blatantly blown call drew more focus than Chicago's eventual win. The obvious misjudgment spotlighted the umpire's baffling inability to get routine calls correct. As we've seen, umpires have made some all-time bad calls that live on in baseball infamy. However, they also routinely make correct split-second judgments under intense pressure. While we remember the errors, we often take for granted the competence that allows games to flow smoothly. Umpires have a truly tough job, but get more scrutiny for mistakes than praise for successes. Should MLB increase replay further or maintain limits out of respect for umpires' authority? What steps could improve umpire performance and accountability while still valuing their indispensable role? Let me know in the comments section. Thanks for tuning in to our breakdown of MLB umpires' all-time worst calls. Click subscribe to get more great baseball content from BatFlix. We'll catch you in the next video looking at another unbelievable piece of baseball history you won't want to miss.